Good words of advice from the ZBB, the Zach Brown Band, a little tune called Roots, brand new music from those guys. My mother used to say that, well, if it doesn't kill you, it'll make you stronger. I'm like, Mom, I don't get it. I'm not getting any stronger, Mom. I'm just getting worn down. But it is good words of advice for sure. And, hey, the Wall-to-Wall Country Show is now into its second hour. A quick note to say hi to our sponsor, First Northern Bank, and trust your community. Their commitment, making sure that your money is safe and secure for sure. Check in with these guys at 1stnorthernbank.com. In the second hour, we always have a very special guest on the show. We've been doing this for years now, and we're so excited to have another wonderful person online. So excited to chat with this girl. And you might not know who she is quite yet, even though she's kind of been doing some stuff. We got some brand new music we're going to be listening from this girl, but we're going to learn all about her. We've got on board today Sam Rochford. So excited to have her on. Hey, Sam, how are you?
Good. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, I am happy that you're happy, so everybody's happy. It's nice to be happy.
It is, yeah.
So we have Sam Rochford. Now, she's a musician. She's a radio correspondent. And according to her website, also an enormous dork. Now, I am just repeating that. I didn't come up with that all by myself. And we're going to touch base on all of that and try to figure out who Sam Rochford is and how she got to the position she's in with releasing some brand new music, a cute little tune, which we're going to listen to in just a bit. But, Sam, why don't you back up a little bit and tell my listening audience a little bit where you hail from and what you've been up to and how you kind of got into the spot you're in today, my dear.
Sure. It's going to be a story about just like a bunch of weird accidents, all sort of leading me into this place. But I'm from Connecticut, and I lived there until I graduated high school, and then I moved to Boston for 5 years. And while I was in Boston, I started writing songs sort of as a joke. I would be like camping with my friends, and we'd be sitting around a campfire, and I would literally just start making up songs about the stuff that was happening around me and the dumb stuff my friends were doing in the woods. And the songs that I wrote at first were really bad because I made them up on the spot. But when you write a song about someone, if their name is in it, they love it, even if it's bad. So I got this like praise that I definitely didn't deserve right off the bat, and it made me really enjoy songwriting. And obviously I take it much more seriously now, and I spend more time than just writing it in the moment. But I started writing songs sort of as a joke, and then I got more serious about it, and then I started performing all over Boston, and I was being interviewed by a radio station in Boston called WEMF for a show that I was doing, and the host that was interviewing me had kind of a meltdown on the air. Like, he talked about drug use and some inappropriate stuff. Like, it was internet radio, but it still, like, crossed lines. Mm-hmm. So I had a meeting with the general manager afterwards, where he was apologizing to me for that happening while I was on the air. And I was like, well, apart from that guy flipping out, I really liked being here. Could I have a job? And I got one.
Wow.
So that's, yeah. So I worked there for about a year, and then I moved to Nashville to pursue music a little bit further. And then I was lucky enough to get a job at 6:50 a.m., which was the home of the Grand Ole Opry, one of the oldest country music stations in the world. And I stopped working there earlier this year to pursue music full time. So it's just been a bunch of like happy accidents over and over again.
That's awesome. I mean, the whole experience of being on radio in itself, and in Connecticut radio, which you said was internet, is fine. But then to be at 6:58, I mean, my goodness, WSM. I mean, wow. I mean, to be at the Grand Ole Opry for that long, that had to be amazing. What did you do there? Did you have the opportunity to speak to some of the wonderful talent that comes through there? What did you do while you were on the air there?
So I started out as the sales intern, and I was literally in a different building than the microphones and the radio part of it, just making sales packets and Excel spreadsheets for people. And they were launching a new show in the afternoons in March of 2016, and they needed somebody to just take pictures that very first day. So I, got sent over there because I was young and knew how to work a camera. And the host liked me so much that they wanted me to be there every day. So my job changed a little bit, and then a couple of months go by, and I'm running their social media, and I'm taking pictures and videos, and Pokemon Go came out. And nobody knew what it was, but it was this, big news story. So they said, Sam, do you know what this is, and could you explain it on the air? And I was like, yeah, I have it on my phone. I could explain what Pokemon Go is. So I did that the very first day, and then we had a meeting with the general manager, and he was like, I like what Sam said about Pokemon Go. I want her to have a segment every day where she talks about, trending topics and young people stuff. So I fell into that very randomly, and then it turned into doing remote interviews that the normal hosts didn't want to travel for, or, they were during the day, so they had to be at the station, but I could be somewhere else. So the biggest thing I got to do was interview Dolly Parton for about 45 seconds.
Wow.
I don't remember what I asked her because I was so nervous I blacked out. It's recorded, and it exists somewhere, but I was so scared because it was my first real interview was with her.
Wow.
And I was so nervous. She's very nice, and she's very short. But that was probably the coolest thing I got to do.
That's pretty cool. I've been doing this for 3 or 4 years, and I still aspire to have Dolly Parton on my show. I've tried multiple times and have not been successful. So that would be
yeah.
That would be a highlight for sure of my career to get Dolly on my show as well. I mean, I've don't get me wrong, I've spoken to a lot of amazing artists, but she's one of them that are on my little interview bucket list, and it would be wonderful to do that. So I can imagine how you would be like da 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 da.
And she's so when you talk to big stars, I'm sure, as you know, working in radio too, sometimes the bigger the name, they don't look you in the eye and they're sort of rude, or they can be divas. She's so down to earth. She looks you in the eye she's just the sweetest person, which makes it even scarier. Dolly Parton looks me in the eyes. What do I do? What do I do?
Aw. Well, I'm sure you did just fine. And I've heard that a lot. I've seen some things that have happened where on TV where she was just especially with, how she supports the South and helps people with the fires and she's always one of those artists that like to step up and try to help people, and her music and her books for children and all that kind of stuff. So that is pretty awesome that you had the opportunity to chat with her a little bit. Now, you've been doing this kind of stuff, and also you've been doing things with YouTube and Facebook, so you're pretty into the whole social media thing. Tell us a little bit about how that all got started and what you actually do with that.
Okay, sure. So I started posting on YouTube 6 or 7 years ago when I first started writing music, and it was more of a way to share, the joke songs that I wrote about my friends with my friends. I didn't have access to professional recording equipment, and they were like, I want the song that you wrote about me so I could show my other friends. So I started putting that comedy stuff on YouTube, and I've taken most of it down because I don't want it associated with me anymore, because a lot of it's goofy, and I just want to be taken a little bit more seriously. But that's how I started posting on YouTube, was just to share these things with my friends, and then people that weren't my friends started watching the videos, which was really cool. So I just kept doing it. I love it so much. And then I started posting them on Facebook, too, when Facebook came out with their video platform. But their rules are a little bit different. You can't post cover videos on Facebook. You can. Nobody will stop you. But if it gets flagged as copyright infringement, they can take it down.
Yeah.
And that happened to me so much that I actually got banned from Facebook for 3 days this month.
Wow. Yeah, they do. They take stuff down. Yeah.
It was crazy. It was over my birthday, too, so I got all these nice birthday messages, and I couldn't read them until a couple days later.
Aw. Well, then you got to celebrate a little longer. I have friends of mine who celebrate.
Yeah, exactly.
I have friends of mine who celebrate their birthday for like a whole month. So.
Yeah, that's not normal.
Oh. So, okay, but you're still using those platforms, though, with YouTube and Facebook and things, now that you've shifted gears into your music career. So you're still using those types of things with the social media, not only for your music, but for other stuff. You want to tell us a little bit about what you're doing there?
Sure. So I decided, well, for my song So Easy, I made this plan to make a music video, and it took me 2 months to complete it. It's a lyric book, and you should go look it up because it took me a long time. But I mapped out all the lyrics to the song and bought like a notebook, and I flipped through the notebook in time with the song, and every page has a different lyric, and it's decorated very differently. And it took me just forever to make it. And I got some friends to send me pages from across the country, which was kind of cool, from the guest artists. But I made this little lyric video for the song, and I think it's definitely helped spread the song in a way that wouldn't have been possible without YouTube.
Well, yeah, because people can see the words and a little bit more, artists always talk about the connectivity with a song, when you get it out there and how people can relate to it, or either, whether they see your side of the story or they take it and they kind of incorporate it into their life and how something is working that way in their life. And, you hear the music, but actually seeing it is a second sense, maybe, along with reading the words, which helps drive some of the messages a little bit more home. What kind of feedback are you getting on that particular video or on Facebook?
I'm getting really positive feedback. It's been out for a little while now, and just the reach and the shares, and like even if people don't talk to me about it, the fact that they want to show their friends means that they like it, which is just so flattering to me. I actually got a message that somebody played it at their wedding. Which is like the ultimate, oh my gosh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so flattered. So I've been just really blown away by the response and just the radio play that, it's just crazy. People, whenever I put something out, I just expect like my mom and like 2 of my friends to care about it. And this has been so much bigger than that, which is really cool.
So tell us about this song. Now, obviously, it's called So Easy. It's I would expect this is something you penned, so this is coming right from you. Tell us a little bit about the song.
Mm-hmm. So I wrote it last November. My little sister got married, which is weird because she's like still a baby to me, but she now has a baby and is married. And it was a really, really small ceremony. My brother officiated the wedding, and she wanted me to be part of it, too. She wanted me to say something as part of the ceremony. And I was like, well, I might as well just write a song. Like, I'm better at that than just talking. So I sat down to write the song, and it was going to be a surprise for her. But it was a poorly kept secret. She knew that I was going to do it. And it was really tough to write. Like, my first couple drafts of the song were really cheesy about, like, true love and finding somebody that you never fight with and finding like your Disney romance. And I just sat with the song for so long being like, I hate this. This is not how I've ever experienced love, whether it's like with a boyfriend or even like the kind of love that I feel for my sister. Like we fight all the time, but that's not about, like love isn't finding somebody that you never have conflict with. It's about getting over conflict and like accepting the person for who they are and like having the respect to work through that kind of thing. So I changed my mindset a little bit and then rewrote the song, and I'm really happy with how it came out. I was afraid my sister wasn't going to like it because when it's your wedding, you sort of want this like Disney romance thing instead of something that's like really honest. But she ended up really liking it. It made my grandma cry. Like, all my goals for the song were totally accomplished. And I didn't plan on showing it to anybody outside the ceremony. But I got such positive feedback that I decided to record it and release it as my first official single.
Awesome. Now, you don't have, this isn't on an album. You've just got this single out.
Yep, no album. This is the only official song that's out.
Okay. And now that it's out there getting some airplay, has the feedback changed? Are you finding people are recognizing with it? What is there something that might have surprised you with some feedback with the song being out there a little bit?
I'm always surprised when people come back to me and say, like, oh, this reminds me of the person that I'm married to, but it also reminds people of, like, friend love or sibling love, because, like, it sort of encompasses all of that. Like, I did write it with romantic love in mind because it was for a wedding, but I also wrote it about, like, you know, the love that I feel for my sister and how, like, our relationship definitely isn't perfect, but we still love each other. So anytime somebody reaches out to me saying, like, oh, it reminds me of my sister, I'm like, that's exactly what I had in mind when I wrote about it, and I'm surprised that you picked up on that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's pretty awesome. So you have this out there. What are some of the ways that people can find it? Is it only on YouTube, or is it out there in other venues?
The video is also on Facebook. It's in both places, and then you can find the song without the video anywhere you can get digital music. So iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Tidal, all those places, it's up there.
Okay. And all they would have to do is search Sam Rochford. Now, that's Rochford. There's no T in there, even though it's Rochford. It's Rochford, Sam, as the first name, and kind of find you that way also on as your website, and finding links on there as well.
Yeah, I'm on all social media, usually as Sam Rochford Music. You can find me pretty much anywhere.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, listen, Sam, we have to take a little bit of a break, pay some bills, keep us on the air here. But we'd like to come back with your song, So Easy, so people can give a listen to it and see what their interpretation of it is. Can you hold on there for a few more minutes, Sam?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, we're going to be back with more Sam Rochford coming up in just a few moments after we take a break. We've got her single that's out there. Give it a listen and see how it, kind of maybe be a part of your life. I have a sister myself, so I'm going to be listening to get that inspiration for the feelings of sisterly love, or maybe it means something to you in a marriage or a boyfriend, girlfriend, or however, whatever relationship you may have. But we're going to listen to that, catch the words, and remember, if you want to actually see the words, always you can check her out on the YouTube, on the Facebook, and the YouTube, as well as her website. We're going to be back with more Sam Rochford and her tune. It's called So Easy, coming up in just a moment. Little Sam Rochford and So Easy, brand new music from her. That's such a cute little tune. It's got a nice little beat to it, but the words are pretty awesome. I like it, Sam.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you. I actually haven't listened to the recorded version in a long time, so it's kind of weird to sit there and listen to it.
Now, are you doing any instruments on it? I'm just curious.
I am playing guitar.
Awesome. Oh, that's cool. So, yeah, that's awesome. You kind of got the songwriter, the singer, the performer all kind of rolled up into one there, which is always a good thing to have the little multiple package there instead of just one or the other. That's another thing a lot of artists we discuss. You kind of have to be kind of like, the all-around performer these days anymore, instead of just being, I'm just a singer, or I just play guitar. It's tough to make it as it is, I'm expecting, and it's nicer when you can write your music, you can play your music, and you can sing it, and be a great performer on top of it.
Yeah, no, you got to wear a lot of hats. You got to be your own booking agent. If you do YouTube, you have to be your own graphic designer. Sometimes you have to be your own videographer and photographer.
Oops.
The craziest thing about being a musician is how much non-musical stuff goes into it.
Yeah, I'm sure. So I'm looking at your website, samrochford.com. Is there a future of maybe getting out and doing some performing? Because I don't really see any list on your website there.
Yeah, I play a lot in Nashville, and a lot of times I don't know about the gigs far enough in advance to promote them properly. That's sort of just like how it goes down here. So it's better to look at my social media for that sort of thing than my website. I play a lot locally, like downtown Nashville. Like it's crazy. If you've ever been to Nashville, like every place has live music.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy to get a gig, but like because everybody's doing it, they don't always tell you very far in advance.
Okay. Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, that's kind of one of those things. But when you do find out something, check out your Facebook page. We'll have as up to date as possible on there.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. And that again is Sam Rochford Music on Facebook to find out what this gal is up to. And also you made a mention. Now I know we talked about the YouTube channel videos, but there's a little something on your Facebook page. I guess you do regular videos on there, and now you're going to be doing something fun for October here.
Yeah, so it's inspired by, I follow a lot of like visual artists on YouTube or on Instagram, and a lot of them do this thing called Inktober, like a play on October but with like ink, where they draw every single day, or they post a video every single day of them drawing. And the point of it is it's usually like spooky themed stuff, like they draw a witch every day or something. But the point is just to put out content every single day to get better. And I did this a couple years ago, not in October, but I challenged myself to write a song every single day for 1 month. And I just grew so much. Like I try to write every week and a couple times a week, but forcing yourself to do it every day, even when you don't feel like it, you grow so much. So I'm going to try to write every single day, and I'm going to try to make a video on YouTube every single day. I'm not always going to play the song because sometimes I write bad songs, like that just happens, and I don't want to share those with people. But in some videos, I'm going to talk about my experience songwriting and like what I've learned over the years or what I'm learning this month. And then I'm going to try to make a lot of the videos be the songs that I'm writing. So you're going to hear them hot off the presses.
Nice. So people should friend you on your Facebook page, and then that way they can keep up with what's going on with you and these videos that you're going to be putting out there, and kind of follow along for a month and see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm either going to learn a lot or rip all my hair out, or maybe both.
That's totally awesome. Check out this girl, man. I think you are in the very beginning of a wonderful career if you continue to do songs like So Easy. It definitely has a sound. I think you have a niche there. She's going to be doing some stuff on her social medias. Make sure you keep abreast of what's going on with this lovely lady. Real quick, Sam, something new and upcoming, a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge, other than those videos that you might want to share with your fans, what they can be looking forward to?
Well, the videos are definitely the biggest thing coming up, like, next week or whenever October 1st is. I think it's on Sunday. So that's definitely the nearest thing that's happening. But I'm writing all these songs because I want to eventually put out an EP or an album. I just need enough momentum behind it that it's not just, my mom and my grandma listening to it. And I want the songs to be great. When you're a musician, you have to write you don't have to, but I think you should write 100 songs and whittle it down to 10.
Yeah.
You only want to put your best foot forward. So I'm gearing up towards that in the next 6 months or so.
Awesome.
But definitely the YouTube thing is coming up first.
All right. Well, that sounds exciting. And, if you do get that EP out there and you want to come back on the show, the doors, whether they're virtual or not, are always open to all my guests. Everybody's always welcome back, and get us an update of what's happening, Sam. And if you get that album or that EP going, I'll be glad to have you back on the show and get some more of your music out there for you. So you're always welcome.
Oh, thanks. This is so much fun. So I'll definitely come back.
Well, if you ever get up to Connecticut and you want to bop over to PA, you can also make a real visit if you'd like to stop in.
Even more fun. What part of Pennsylvania are you in?
We're on the eastern side, so it's about a 5 or 6 hour drive from Connecticut, depending on where you're at. So we're between Scranton and
6 hours.
Yeah, it's just a little jaunt, Yeah, come on.
Okay.
Yeah, we're kind of between Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, and Philadelphia, right smack dab in the middle on the eastern side. So.
Oh, okay, very cool.
Just a little detour.
Whenever in Pennsylvania, I'll hit you up.
Yeah, it's just a little detour. Get you back on 95 in no time.
Cool.
Well, Sam, you have been a sweetheart and a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining my show today. We'll keep that song in rotation and get a little bit more airplay on that. But doors are always open, and we'd love to have you back, my friend.
Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day.
You too, dear. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And there you go, Miss Sam Rochford. Check her out on all the social medias. Check her out on her website, samrochford.com. And keep listening for some more of her music coming up down the pike.